Welcome back, investors, to Ticker Time News. I want to thank you all for coming. This is our very first after, or should I say, market close live stream. So forgive me if there's a few bumps here and there as we go through this live stream. I hope you find it valuable and informing. What I'd like to do is to set off a format here for how our live streams are going to work. We're going to do these every day that the market is open, starting at 4 o'clock. I know we're a few minutes late today. Starting at 4 o'clock, and we're going to run for about 1 hour or so. We're going to have 4 15-minute segments, give or take. The first segment is going to be about the market and what happened, our playbook, and what we can do going forward into the next session. Our second segment will be diving into the stocks for the day, which ones performed the best, what were the best sectors, worst performing, why, how, all the questions answered with those particular stocks. And then we're going to, for our third segment, dive into a specific topic for each day, and it'll be different. Today, we're going to talk about Tesla and their amazing delivery numbers, but we're also going to talk about the Tesla and Rivian controversy, and also a little bit of Rivian's IPO that they just released on Friday, I believe it was. And then the fourth segment is going to be your questions answered. And we may sprinkle in a few of your questions as we go, depending on what type of question it is. But pick your favorite ticker symbol, leave it in the comments, let us know what your question is, and we'll do our best to answer that question live. Now, if you happen to watch the replay of this live stream, leave your questions in the comments. We'll go through the comments, and the next live stream, we will answer your questions then. So that way, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, you can see, you can have your questions answered. So I hope you find that enjoyable. So without further ado, let's get into today's live stream. Again, I want to thank you for being here. Again, excuse me for any hiccups as we go, because this is our first time. So let me just quickly pull this up. Okay, so let's dive into it. Today's market was not the best market for gains, although there were some stocks that did pretty well. Dogecoin is up at the top of the list, surprisingly. It was up about 8%, but most stocks didn't do that well. So stocks were sharply lower today, and the main problem that I saw was weakness in the mega cap stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet's Google, and Facebook. They were all down noticeably, and they underperformed the broader market. Facebook is the main lagger here, as it's getting broadsided by regulatory concerns after a former employee, now a whistleblower, said the company would often prioritize profit over public safety. Now, as investors, of course, we like to see profits in the companies we invest in, but we also want to make sure that the companies aren't doing things to potentially hurt people. So I'm not making any claims that that's what Facebook was doing, but we should definitely look into it just to make sure. The tech sector was the worst performing amid many different things today. The treasury yield was worrisome. There was worries over slow growth, high inflation, rising commodity prices, etc., etc. At the same time, though, Concerns about the indebted property developer Evergrande linger on. The 10-year Treasury has seen some roller coaster action in the last session and before, pushing above 1.5%, I believe, at one point today, before sliding back down to the 1.47% as stocks continued to slide throughout the session today. The Volatility Index, or VIX, spiked to session highs today also. Still, a rise in Tesla and Merck prevented a deeper loss for Wall Street and the overall indexes. Tesla, which we'll talk about shortly, reported better than expected deliveries for Q3, and its shares were up today. But the deliveries for Tesla that we'll get into later on, they were amazing, absolutely amazing. And Merck, which is the pharmaceutical company, they extended their gains after the company announced a coronavirus pill that reduces the risk of death and hospitalization. That is pretty amazing. You just take a pill when you get COVID, and it's going to reduce your risk of going to the hospital and reduce your risk of dying from the coronavirus, no matter what strain of it you have. That's a pretty remarkable claim for this pill. And again, I mean, this will be a game changer if this pill is approved and it acts like the study says it acted. I think they had 750 or so participants in the study, and those who took the pill, not a single one died. But those on the placebo side of it, they still had the normal deaths that you would associate with COVID. So it is a game changer if it's approved. And right now, I believe they are looking to get the pill approved through emergency action. So we'll see how that goes. The S&P 500, it gave back almost everything it gained on Friday. And Friday was a good day. But then so with the S&P 500 giving back most of its gains from Friday, once again, to sell into strength is seeming to be what played out today in some part, amid a highly uncertain market about earning prospects, interest rates, the infrastructure bill, and the debt ceiling. They all act as an uncertainty for the market. And most markets they don't like uncertainty. I'll just put it that way. They like things to be orderly and calm, and they like to know how things are going to proceed. So when the market feels uncertain about certain aspects, then yes, it's going to act in irrational ways. But that is something that goes along with the risk of investing in the markets. So the price action today also acted as a bit of a catalyst for today's losses, most likely chasing away Friday's weak-handed buyers who thought the market was ready for a material rebound. And I'm not sure if that's quite the case yet. Anyways, the mega caps are the biggest weak spot. We saw oil spike to nearly $80 a barrel. Natural gas prices are up dramatically. They are all acting as a drag on sentiment, as it is stoking stagflation concerns. It is also stoking the energy stocks, because energy was the best performing sector today. But it had been up as much as 2.2% with energy today. So energy was a one of the reasons while the market and the indices were able to not go down as far and fast today. Higher prices will be good for earnings, but they can also be a source of demand destruction that leads to lower earnings down the road. So let's take a peek at how the indices did today. So we have the Dow Jones. It was down nearly 1%, 0.94% to 34,002. The S&P 500 was down 1.3%. NASDAQ, the big dragger, was down 2.14%. And then the Russell 2000 was also down 1.08%. And then you see the only green box along the top here was the VIX. It was up 8.56%. Those are pretty big numbers. So there's a lot of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And the big one, uncertainty, with everything happening in the market. Okay, so that's a bit of an update on the market today. I see your question there for HYMC. Yes, I will look into that for you. We'll pull that up. Real quick, before we get into the stocks here, let's look at the S&P 500. So the S&P 500, it topped out on September 2nd. That was its last all-time high. And that was around, let's see, 45, 46, okay? Since then, we've been pulling down, and we're down 5.63% since that all-time high. And if we look really close here at this bottom line where it is, we can see that we're holding up at this support range here at about 42.88 as support. Once the once the S&P 500 breaks below that, then it could be signaling a bigger drop, because if you look here, the next support level, and we can measure that from where the S&P 500 is now to that next support level, that's another 1.2% drop. Next support after that, from where we are now, is 2.7% drop. And then finally, the third support level for the S&P 500, that's another 5% drop, and that puts us really close to 4,000 for the S&P 500. You add those two together, that would be the 10% drop that a lot of economists and those on YouTube, when they're calling for a big market crash, well, there's your 10%. We're already halfway through it. So I don't think it could be as bad as some may say. I don't think we're going to go down this extra 5% until later this year. I think there's one more bounce that could be triggered right here at support and send it up to new all-time highs. And then after that, then we may see our big pullback. But we are definitely short on a pullback. We should have had one since by now. We'll just put it that way. All right, so let's go look at the sticks over here. So what did good? Well, right now, surprisingly, Dogecoin is sitting at the top. It's up 11.6%. So it is on a run right now. Dogecoin, you can see it's on a spike. Actually, my head might be in the way. Let me just pull it up. All right, so as you can see, Dogecoin is spiking right now, and it's taken a run. So it's up to, it just tapped 24 cents. So just keep that on your radar there. Even though I'm not a big Dogecoin a fan, it's performing pretty well right now. Then we've got an automotive company up here, 5%. And look, I mean, the top performers today, I mean, we've got a couple 5%, we've got a 3%, 2%, 1%. So the gains that we had today, they were not that big. I mean, look at this. We've got cryptocurrency on here. We've got the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust that was up 5%. Bitcoin here was up 3.8%. Hut 8 mining was up 3.6%. So we've got cryptocurrency related coins and the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust that were up today. We've got Solar Winds, Duke Energy, Merck and Company. Merck was up 2% at the end of the day. Ethereum was up 1.9%. Group 1 Auto was up 1.9%. So we've got automotive up, cryptocurrency up, energy up. BJ Wholesale Club, of course, they've got a great business model. Let's see here. We got Mastercraft Boats. They were up 1.6%. I love the boating industry and boating stocks. They're excellent. GM was up 1.6%. Utility companies. Marathon Digital was up 1.3%. Gap was up. Children's Place was up. Both retail clothing. Ford Motor was up 1.3%. Northrop Grumman defense stock 1.3%. Airline Southwest 1.3%. Let's see, grocery store Kroger up 1.2%. We got bank Brunswick Corp up 1.1%. Again, that's a manufacturer of boats. So the boating industry typically is doing really well. Renewable energy was up. Let's see. What are other good names? Kohl's, another retailer, up just 0.8%. Tesla up 0.8%. Tesla did break $800 earlier today. If we go in and look at Tesla here, you can see they reached a high today of $806 before pulling back some. And you can see this big gap up from over the weekend with their report coming out about their deliveries were just excellent. Deliveries were perfect. With Tesla's deliveries, and we're going to look at this in a moment, they could do 1 million deliveries this year. That would just be incredible. They're smashing records left and right, and not just any records, their own records. Let's see what some of the losers were today. And I mean, when you look at the losers here, biggest loser, Sprout Social down 11. Lordstown Motors was down 10%. GoGo, which is a communication for when you're on flights and airplanes, down 9%. Arrival, which is an EV play, was down 8.5%. Bloom Energy, surprisingly, was down 8.4%. Affirm, which has been doing well, especially when it made the Amazon announcement, it's down 8.4%. And if we go in here and look at the chart, just to see, yeah, it's been in this downtrend for a while now. You can see the run up here from the Amazon news. It hit a high here of $133. And since then, it has been in a downtrend. And this downtrend, you see days where there's big red candles, big drops, and then it's kind of flat for a day or so, and then another big drop, flat for a day or so, and then it had a pretty big climb, and it's moving in big chunks. So it'll have, 5% plus moves to the upside, and then 5% plus moves to the downside. So it's been very volatile, but overall it's been in a downtrend since the news and the height of that. So we'll have to see how this stock continues. Is it going to get to, $104, $100 and find support down there? Or has it found support where it is now at around $107? So we'll have to see on that one how it continues to play out. All right, we got Sunrun was down, and that's solar, down 7.9%. Another solar company down 7.9%. Open Door Technologies was down 7.5%. Arcimoto 7.5%. HubSpot, Canadian Solar, SunPower, so Array Technologies. So a lot of solar companies got wrapped up in a downtrend today of 7% or more. Redfin, that's down into the 47.35 right now. That was down 7% today. See, red days aren't days to particularly get worried. Red days are the days you go shopping. I mean, you hear that all the time. It's nothing special hearing it from me. You don't want to buy on a green day when everything is up. You want to buy on a red day when everything is down. A simple analogy, you wouldn't go to a grocery store and expect to pay double for an item. You would want to use the discount coupon and get it for less. It's just the psychological, the mentality that investors have sometimes. They get worried and they're emotional. In investing, you got to take the emotion out of it, and you've got to be rational. So red days are shopping days. When you see Redfin below $50 like this, you're thinking to yourself, wow, that could be a very interesting buy situation for Redfin. It's a company that's got a bright future. And if you look here, there's a lot of support down here around the $46 range. And right down here, the lowest for this time period, $44.44. So once it gets down to these numbers, I mean, this is where you want to start buying. You definitely don't want to buy when it's up here at $65. That just doesn't make sense. So Redfin is getting into a sweet spot right now for placing a buy order. Most definitely. Okay, let's go back. Enphase Energy down 6.6%. And Enphase, that is my favorite solar energy play. They've got great inverters. Let's see what this note is here. Upgrades. So who got upgraded and who got downgraded? Let's find Enphase on here. All right, come on. Shouldn't be that hard to find. Enphase, where are you? MGM. Spirit Airlines downgraded. All right, Enphase. Alibaba downgraded from Raymond James. Wow, there's a lot on here, but I haven't seen Enphase yet. Let's see, Enphase, where are you? Qualcomm initiated, Snap initiated, Facebook outperform rating by RBC Capital initiates coverage on Facebook. The price target seems to have been set at $425 for Facebook. Okay, there's Enphase. With an outperform rating, BMO Capital initiates coverage on Enphase Energy. The price target seems to have been set at $200 a share for Enphase Energy. In the second quarter, Enphase Energy showed an EPS of 53 cents compared with 17 cents from the year-ago quarter. The stock has a 52-week high of $229 and a 52-week low of $81. At the end of the last trading period, Enphase closed at $149. So we've got an outperform rating for Enphase and a price target of $200. Okay? So Enphase is sitting at $145 right now with a price target of $200. You know, that fits into my Enphase thesis. I believe this Enphase, it's a buy and hold type of company, especially when to get to $200 a share. Let's go look at this a little closer. But Enphase Energy, again, it's one of my all-time favorites. Let's see here. Yep, I just caught your note there. 1 million deliveries is impossible now, but will be 900K or so for Tesla. Yeah. No, they could, when I said 1 million deliveries, yeah, they could get close to 1 million deliveries this year. Your 900,000 is pretty spot on. But if we just took their deliveries from this past quarter and then, you know, put that on a 12-month time frame, that's how you get to their 1 million deliveries. And doing a little bit of math, it doesn't take long for them to get to 5 million, 10 million deliveries at this pace they're on. If Tesla does what they did for the past 5 years, for the next 5 years, they will be able to get to 5 million, 10 million vehicles pretty soon, by the end of the decade. My opinion, at least. Okay, Enphase, we've got a coverage initiated at $200 a share. You can see Enphase has been in this downtrend since reaching this high of $201. So with the initiating coverage and a price target of $200, it's not out of the realm for Enphase to get back to that height. So I don't think that's a big, at a loss of words here, I don't think that's a hard price target for Enphase to hit, since it's been there before. Okay. All right, so let's go back over again. So keep Enphase, an eye out for Enphase. If that continues lower, 145 right now, that's a great entry point to start nibbling on. If they can get lower, then obviously the better. All right, let's see. QuantumScape is on here at a loss, 6.3%. Loan Depot, Trade Desk, 6.2. So a lot of tech. Solar Edge, 6.1. A ton of solar companies were hit today. Sunworks, another solar, 6.1%. Oh, poor Workhorse. They were down 6.1%. Workhorse, oh, that's a tough subject to talk about. Workhorse could very easily continue lower, unfortunately. With the new CEO and the new management team, they're going to have to prove themselves. I don't think investors are going to just say, okay, you guys, you know, you're going to do good. we're behind you. Workhorse is going to have to prove itself now, most definitely. Oh, and we go Sunnova Energy. Oh, a ton of solar. Blink Charging down 5.8. LegalZoom 5.8. Let's see. Pinterest, it's under $50 now. It was down 5.7. If that could get below 45, below 40 even, that would be a good pickup. NEO is down to $33.40. It was down 5.6% today. Zillow down 5.3%. Square down 5.4%. It's up a fraction of a percent in after hours. Vision Marine Technologies. You know, like I said, I like the boating industry. Vision Marine is actually an all-electric boat. It's pretty amazing. You know, it's the Tesla of the boating industry. So it's a pretty neat company to watch. You know, obviously that stock is down 5.4%. It's only a $6 stock. You know, it doesn't have a lot. It's got to prove itself. It's got to prove its technology, but it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. Let's see. Snap, Wayfair also down. Fisker down. Fisker, EV maker. Lordstown Motors just recently announced the end of last week. I did a video about this. They have sold their factory to Foxconn. Foxconn is buying $50 million of shares in Lordstown Motors, and the facility is going to be used to manufacture the Lordstown Endurance electric pickup truck, and also one of Fisker's vehicles will be manufactured at the same plant. So I was wondering, since Foxconn is the largest iPhone maker in the world, you know, there's a rumored Apple car. Could Foxconn, through Apple, their connection with Apple, could they possibly, now that they have control of an electric vehicle manufacturing place, could that be the way the rumored Apple electric car gets put into play? I don't know. It's a fun thought to think about. Last mile delivery, another electric vehicle stock down 5.2%. So a lot of EVs in here, a lot of solar in here is down. Peloton is down 5% to $82 a share. That's getting down pretty good. Airbnb down 4.9% to $164. So yeah. Oh, Palantir, one of my absolute favorite technology companies. It was down 4.7. It's down to $23.17 a share. It's up just a fraction, a few pennies in after hours. But Palantir is an excellent stock. It just came off of a nice run. It almost touched $30 a share from down to the 18s, I believe it was. So it was on a nice run. So this pullback now, it's just an opportunity to buy more shares. So, I mean, this company has been great. Let's put this on a daily chart so we can see. Get it fixed here for you. All right. So it was a direct-to-consumer, a DPO instead of an IPO last year. You could have picked it up for under $10 at its DPO. And then it ran up to a high of $45. And then it slowly bled out to a low down here, $17.54. maybe even into the $16 range, high $16. And then it's slowly been marching back up in an uptrend. We had one big pullback, and now we're on our second bigger pullback, but it's still in an uptrend with today's pullback. So yeah, that's a company I love a whole bunch. Okay, let's hop over to a couple stories that I have pulled up here that we can talk about. Remember, ask anything you want in the comments. We're going to dive into those here in just a moment. First thing I want to talk about is Tesla's deliveries that they just reported over the weekend. So let's dive into this. Tesla delivered a record number of cars worldwide in the third quarter, smashing analyst estimates and maintaining its dominance in electric vehicle sales, making a difficult year-end sales goal slightly more attainable. Let's see, they delivered 139,300 cars, eclipsing its prior all-time high of 112,000 cars in the fourth quarter of 2019 and above the 129,950 vehicles projected by analysts surveyed by Bloomberg. So Tesla's records in the third quarter topped analyst estimates, yes. So we can see here, going back to Q1 of 2018 to Q3 of 2021 in their record. It's just amazing. Let's just look at the third quarters. So third quarter of 2018, 84,000 cars delivered. 2019, third quarter, 97,000 cars delivered. Third quarter, 2020, did I misread this? I did, didn't I? I thought this was 2021. This is this is last year. Well, this is one of those bloopers I said that we would have today. I knew there would be something. This is with our first live stream. I knew there would be something that would go wrong. At least this is something easily fixed. So let me just type in here Tesla. Let's see if we can get an accurate. Okay. Here we go. Now I've got the right date, October 4th, 2021. And the title is funny. Many Tesla short sellers are giving up. Bravo, short sellers. Bravo. Bets against electric vehicle maker have slumped this year. Car maker turns in another record quarter of vehicles shipped. Here we go. Now we got it. All right, just the first couple paragraphs here. Tesla is inflicting more pain on short sellers. That's good. And many of them are giving up. All right, I don't want to. Shares of Tesla jumped 39% since touching their 2020 low in March, sending bears rushing to cover their negative bets. All right, I just want to know about the vehicles. Let's see here. We're talking about short interest of 3.2% of the float. That's not very high at all. It's still the lowest ever for the company. That is interesting. All right, let's get to car deliveries. I thought they said deliveries was in this one. Okay, let's just. All right, Tesla delivered 241,300 vehicles in the third quarter, topping expectations. And this was published on Saturday, October 2nd, 2021. All right, Tesla delivered 241,300 electric vehicles during the third quarter of 2021, the company reported Saturday. The quarter's deliveries topped expectations. Analysts predicted that Tesla would deliver around 220,900 electric cars during this period, according to estimates compiled by Street Account as of September 30. The company produced 237,823 cars in the period ending September 30, 2021, Tesla said in a report. All right, so we've got the majority of that were Model 3 and Model Y vehicles, which are the more affordable range. 8,941 were Model S and X. Let's see, last quarter, Tesla delivered 201,250 vehicles and produced 206,421. Okay. Let's see. Just looking to see if they happen to have a chart. Okay. All right. So, congratulations, Tesla, and everybody working at Tesla. That is excellent. Fabulous. Absolutely excellent. So you can see production 237,823, deliveries 241,300 vehicles. Now, I want to point something out here. If you notice, there were more deliveries made than were produced by Tesla. So what is that going to reflect on their earnings? That's going to reflect higher profits, much higher profits on their earnings. Why? Because they had to dip into some of their inventory, some of the cars that they had already produced in the previous quarters, and they sold those cars. So selling more cars than you produced, that means you are making more money than you are spending. So on their earnings report, I could see record profits, record revenues, all kinds of records for Tesla's earnings that are coming up because of delivering more cars than they produced. And, you know, when you look at this 241,000 cars being delivered, 237,000 being built, you could very easily see once the Berlin factory comes into play and once Austin, Texas, once that factory comes in, they would be massive contributors to the deliveries and the production of Teslas. I just can't wait to see the numbers when those two factories come online. Okay. Previous cars would not be expensed and would be held on the balance sheet as WIP, so won't have an effect on profits. Yeah. Thank you for that comment. I appreciate that. But yep, nonetheless, will be record profits for sure. Okay, the other thing I wanted to look at with Tesla is Rivian. Now, Tesla has sued Rivian in the past, but now they're going a little harder with their lawsuit against Rivian. Why could that be? Well, Rivian did beat Tesla in producing and delivering, or at least a delivery-bound pickup truck, electric pickup truck. Or this could be absolute fact. Maybe this is Rivian really is stealing secrets from Tesla. But the title here, Tesla amps up fight with Rivian, cites battery secrets theft. So the EV maker California State Court. Rivian says its larger rival's new allegations are unsupported. So Tesla escalated its trade secrets fight with Rivian Automotive, accusing the maker of electric pickup trucks of continuing to poach its employees and stealing highly proprietary battery technology. Now, a lot of times when you work in an industry, if you are in management, you get non-disclosures you have to sign, non-compete clauses, where if you get fired from Tesla, then with a no-compete clause, that means you can't go work for a rival company. So I don't know how Tesla has their HR department set up in this manner, but if this is true, I mean, I could see it. You know, you work for Tesla, you're going to know a certain things about the company, and if you go work for a competitor, you can obviously highlight, well, hey, maybe this way is better because they figured that way out while they were working for a different company. I could totally see that happening. Maybe there's nothing wrong with what happened, but nevertheless, Tesla is at least trying to get this investigated and looked at. The world's leading electric vehicle maker says the lawsuit it filed 14 months ago against Rivian hasn't stopped the startup from raiding its staff and looting its intellectual property. That includes one instance this summer where Tesla defectors were caught red-handed stealing the core technology for its next-generation batteries. Quote, the most essential element for any electric vehicle, end quote, according to the court filing last month. Now, apparently under pressure from investors after nearly a dozen years without producing a single commercial vehicle, Rivian has intensified its unlawful efforts, Tesla said. Rivian declined to comment. The latest twist comes as Rivian is planning an initial public offering to seek nearly $80 billion valuation from Bloomberg reporting in August. $80 billion valuation. That's just incredible. So if we look at that Rivian's IPO, just to kind of move on from the case for a moment, I think I'll do a video on Tesla's lawsuit just to dive into it a little bit. Rivian details $1 billion loss, Amazon deal and IPO filing. This is from October 1st, 2021. Rivian discloses almost 50,000 pre-orders for first vehicles. Rivian commits to exclusive 4-year van deal with Amazon. So just the first couple of paragraphs here. Rivian, the maker of electric pickup trucks backed by Amazon, disclosed a net loss of almost $1 billion in the first half of the year in its initial public offering paperwork. And that makes sense. Just think of all of the manufacturing products and tools that they had to get set up in their factory. I'm surely those things, those robots and such, they're not cheap. The startup, in a filing Friday with the SEC, listed the size of the offering at $100 million, a placeholder that will change when terms of the share sale are set. Rivian was seeking to be valued at almost $80 billion in a listing, Bloomberg News reported in August, when the company announced that it had filed confidentially for an IPO. The company's IPO plans came as electric vehicle makers are scaling up, angling for a bigger slice of a growing market. with $10.5 billion raised from backers including Amazon and Ford Motor Company. When Rivian goes public, those backers, Amazon, Ford, that's going to be a windfall for them as far as a return on their investment, especially if it's a $80 billion valuation that they could possibly get. All right. So that's Rivian, that's Tesla. That's the Rivian and Tesla type of court problems they have there. So let's go back here. Let's go back. Let's do this here. So we got. All right, ticker symbol HYMC. All right. All right, so we got a mining company. Let's see what they do here. Okay, exploration, mining, and development of gold and silver properties. The company was founded in 2017, headquarters in Denver, Colorado. Hasn't been performing very well. The past 1 year, it's down 80%. Year to date, down 80%. Past 6 months, down 62%. Past 3 months, down 45%. It's just been going down for the past year. The past week, down 12%. If we look at a yearly here, we've got no revenue, net income at a loss of $2.78 thousand. Of course, no profit. 2018, we have net income of $1.68 million. No revenue, no profit. 2019, we've got revenue at $13.71 million. Net income, a loss of $98.89 million. Profit margin, negative 721%. 2020, we've got revenue of $47 million. So revenue has gone up substantially, but net income, there's also bigger losses, $136.3 million. And then the profit margin improved. So their operations are getting better at a loss of 289%. And if we look at this quarter by quarter, over the past 4 quarters, things have been improving very nicely for the company. If we go back to Q3 2020, we can see they had revenue of $12.2 million, net income, a loss of $29.1 million, profit margin, a loss of 236%, but then it's getting better. If we look at Q2 2021, we go to $36 million in revenue, net income of a loss of $8.4 million, and gross profit, a loss of 23%. So this company has been improving very nicely. They could actually turn a profit rather soon. Let's just look here real quick. All right, so their gross profit, total revenue. All right, so total revenue in the trailing 12 months, let's see, 2017, 18, 19, 2020. Okay. Okay. So the company is improving. I mean, that is definitely, you can definitely see that. I mean, look at this. In 2019, total liabilities of 573.8 million. In 2020, those total liabilities dropped to 216 million. That is that is great. Let's see. Okay. So this company is improving. Let's look at the cash flow here. 2017, 2018, 2020. Okay. Take a look quarterly. They had a big spike in financing at the end of 2020. Since then, it's leveled off. Okay, so this company is improving. It's doing better. If you look at the stock chart, I'm going to go to the 1 day here, just so it's a little cleaner and we can get a better picture. So looking at this, you can already see that maybe the stocks hit a bottom. If we look at where it's at right now, we've got a double bottom here. Let me zoom in on this. Okay. Yeah, this company is drastically improving. And if we look here, and again, this is the daily chart, so we're just getting a better overview, a better picture. But it looks like the company may have found a bottom here, right around the $1.50 mark. If you look, let's get if you look right here at this, wrong color. Don't want it to look red. Let's go with purple. All right, and then if we look back here at August 19th, right there, those two dates, it looks like they hit a bottom. See, the low was $1.48. The next day, the low was $1.56. And if we look over here, we got a bottom of $1.49 and $1.49 again. So I think we may have found a bottom for this company. 148, $1.48, $1.50-ish, somewhere around there. You know, with all of the red in the market today, this company actually being up, you know, fractions of a percent, you know, I think we found a bottom. I think we found support for this company. The financials are looking cleaner. They're looking better. They are improving. And I believe that the stock may have found a bottom here at $1.50. Would you agree with that assessment? I see here, even the CEO on the call was surprised at the stock dropping despite great results. Less than a $90 million market cap seems very low in your opinion, hence asking for your opinion. Yeah, my opinion, right now it's, $90 billion market cap. I think you should see a turnaround for this company. But one thing that's going to play on this stock is, what is the broader market doing? if the broader market is going to go into a pullback, like I talked about earlier in the stream, then it could pull this stock down a little bit further as well. That's the only worry that I would have, is if the broader market is selling down, can it pull this stock down with it in the short term? But long term, I think the stock's reached bottom. I think the company has finally found a place where it's moving forward. The financials are getting better quarter over quarter over quarter. And it looks like $1.50 so here is the support level that the stock's found right now. Of course, past results are no guarantee on future results, but absolutely. Let's see. I was thinking of a position here, was hesitant last week, didn't want to catch the falling knife. Yes, but remember, red days are buying days, especially when you found a bottom. This company finding this $1.48 to $1.50 support level with the financials and the company itself improving dramatically quarter over quarter. Set a stock alert for $1.50, $1.48. If that gets triggered, see, is the overall market pulling down? Is the overall market going up? And I mean, you can go into a closer view here. This is an hour chart, but since it's a smaller company, it's going to look kind of choppy and not very clean. But you can see here, look at volume 2. If you set a stock alert for $1.50 anyways, and it gets triggered, and then you look at a chart and you see big volume for selling, then maybe you'd want to wait until you see that volume come down some before initiating a position. Otherwise, if it looks like it did today, it might be turning around. It's hard to see on this 1 hour chart. Let me try 2 hours. So I mean, if you look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green bars for the month of October to 3 red bars, that could signal that the stock had reached its bottom, say right here on September 30th for $1.49. And now it's going to be a slow move up. It may stall out because of the overall market pressure pushing it down. But yeah, I think you've got an opportunity here. Obviously not financial advice, but just my opinion. Yeah, it's an opportunity. Yeah, when the stock is, like you say right there, when the financials are going one way and the stock another. Exactly. Everything on this company is looking good. Quarter over quarter, it's moving up, it's getting better, it's being more efficient. Yeah. If mining is your sector and you've got extra knowledge in the mining sector, that could be a benefit too for you in investing here. Okay. Any other comments? If you do, make sure to leave them now. We'll look at any stock you want. Is there another stock that you would like to look at? Just leave a comment and we most certainly will. So that was kind of fun, our first live stream to talk about the market for the day. talk about a couple of stories that were interesting. I'm just going back here looking at Dogecoin is hanging right around the 10% right now. I mean, all crypto has been doing pretty well. Bitcoin is holding at 48,900. It's holding that range at 50,000. That's going to be a big resistance level. If Bitcoin can break 50,000 and then hold above it, then I think Bitcoin is off to the races for the rest of the year. I really do think that. If we look at, let's see. Oh, this isn't the right place. I should have this saved by now. I go look at it so often. Oh, no, that's the... where is it? I always love to look at Plan B's stock to flow model. I figured he'd have it here. Hey, where is that stock to flow model? Hold on. All right, here we go. Yep, thank you for the notification. All right, load. I want to take a look at the Plan B's stock to flow model. I love his work here. Here we go. So either this is a prophecy or a coincidence, or it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Take your choice. Take your pick. One of those three. So Bitcoin is following along this trajectory here. And once it reaches a certain point, it just doesn't fall below that certain point anymore. And I'm wondering did we hit that point earlier this summer when Bitcoin just dipped below 30,000, got to 29,000? Was that the bottom for Bitcoin? And is Bitcoin going to never touch that bottom again? Because as you can see along this chart, once Bitcoin reaches a certain price, it never goes back down to that price again. So I'm wondering if 29,000 for Bitcoin, when we hit it over this summer, is it the last time we're ever going to see Bitcoin at $29,000? I don't know. But anyways, by the end of this year, let's get to the end of this year. Let's see, where's that? Right there. Bitcoin, according to the stock to flow model, Bitcoin should be at $110,586 by the end of this year. Can it get there? If it can break above 50,000, can it double by the end of the year? More than that, a little bit? We'll have to wait and see. Either this is prophecy and it's predicting the future, or it's a coincidence, or it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, meaning because we see where it's supposed to be, we guide it to being there. I don't know, but I love to look at it. It's fun. It's a nice little exercise to go through. So anyways, just want to check in on that. Thank you all. If there's no more questions, I'll go ahead and cut it off here. I want to thank you for joining us on our very first market close live stream. And we're going to do this every day the market is open. We're going to come in after the market has closed, and we're going to talk about the market. We'll talk about our playbook on certain stocks. But the most important thing that we're going to do is answer your questions. So if you have a stock you want us to look at, leave it in the comments, ask your question, and we're going to go through it live in the stream with you. And I really hope that that's the best part of these live streams. You are very welcome. I appreciate you for being here. And again, anytime you have a question on a stock, leave us a comment, leave a question, and we're going to go over it. And remember, if you do catch the replay of this, leave your question in the comments and we'll answer it during our next live stream. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. All right. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.